I'm going to butcher the name of the mountain. Fujikasa-sama Mountain was astonishing. It's wonderful and vibrant. Lots of lilac colors and beautiful mixed perfectly in the moonlight. It also seemed to give a soft and soothed scent. It's so pretty, Kayaka said with awe, looking around. Indeed it is. You smiled lightly. Clenching your sword with a tight grip, Kayaka and you, over your usual clothes, wore matching horis that Kasa made you to. While the white hori was favorite color with the second favorite color-coded pattern, Kayaka was wearing something similar to you, but being his favorite colors. You both looked calm and composed, unlike the other participants, who either had fear, anger, grief, or against written on their faces. There was this one with a dim, disrupted gaze and a small smile. But beside her, you and Kayaka, everyone else, had negative expressions. Tanjiro? Your head looked all in different directions as it could. Your heart was beating rapidly at the mere thought of Tanjiro being near you. Of course, Kayaka took notice of your uneasiness and hard to contain joy. What's wrong? Kayaka asked. Tanjiro's here. You breathed out and looking frantically at everyone in the selection. There was one boy with a hairstyle you swore you've seen before. But your mind was too set on finding Tanjiro that you didn't care about guessing who that was. You were so desperate to find him that you decided to look for him in the most fashionable and loud way, yelling. But alas, the election started before you could muster up a single word. Welcome, everyone, two children said in symphony with a soft yet monotone voice. They were almost similar, but the hair and hairpin different them. This is spelled wrong, but irritant you was that the voice of one of them was slightly deeper than the others. Thank you for joining the final selection tonight. While explaining the situation, the mountain, and the rules, your heart was beating faster as each second passed. Are you ready? You asked Kayaka, holding his hand. You hated to admit it, but you were nearly uttered scared at the moment. So you relied on Kayaka to ease you down. He looked at you and nodded. If you survive the 7 days, you will pass, the black-haired kid said. Then both of them bowed. Let the final selection start. We wish you all the best of luck. While others ran, you and Kayaka calmly walked into the mountain. Our priorities are food, water, and health, so we will focus on our well-being right now, you said. They never said we had to kill demons. They only said we had to survive. I can get rid of bugs, Kayaka smiled. And if we look at the plants, we can find water. Sounds good to me. The deeper you went into the mountain, the darker it got. There were corpses everywhere, both from people who took the test and from demons turning into dust. You looked at the expressions of each one of them. They were scared, angry, sad, or shocked. Kayaka covered his nose and looked down. You stopped at each of the corpses, clasping your hands 2 times and muttering the same words. May this soul find peace. Praying for demons and humans' pieces. This is new, a raspy voice said behind you, guessing by the coarseness of his voice and the shivers you felt. This was a demon. Kayaka grabbed your hori with one of his hands. You were currently praying for the dead girl's peace. Your eyes were closed, and once you finished, you opened your eyes, but you didn't look at the demon behind you. I believe that everyone should be allowed to, whether it is in reincarnation or in eternal sleep, you replied, walking to the next corpse. May this soul find peace. Are you perhaps Chansanyo Yin? The demon asked. His reputation got more fragrant and loud. The child sent by the gods, the wise saint, the sole redemptor. I was once, you replied, still looking at not him. I am flattered that even demons know me. We demons heard of you. You give the best advice to humans, he sneered, and that you have the power to change the ways of even the worst of the worst. Everyone can get a second chance in life. This belief of mine is one of the reasons I am here. He finally looked at him. I redeemed myself, left my past behind, and tried to forge a new one. Perhaps I am not the only one who wants to be reborn. Then why would you pray for me? He said with shaky breaths before charging at you with incredible speed. Even if I were to eat your guts out. Breath of the gods, second form. You took out your blade and struck at his neck with ease. The 7th day's rest. The demon didn't feel your sword piercing his flesh, nor his felt defeat. He instead felt complete, yet so empty. Empty in a good way. He was tranquil and at ease. No hunger, no anger, no nothing. He cried, "This allows me to give any demon a calm and sweet death," you said, putting the sword back in its place. Just because you are catalogued as a demon doesn't mean you are eternally one. Even us humans are demons, but we don't look or behave like you. The demon's head was all that remained. He was still crying. Sleep now. May your soul find peace, you said with a soft yet sweet tone. The head was now gone. May this soul find peace, you said sincerely as you clasped your hands twice. Day 2. I called dibs on him, a demon crackled. No fair. I saw him before you. I get first bite. Another demon said, This kid is too small. It would barely stop our hunger. A third demon groaned. What a waste of time discussing. I'll take a good bite off the boy's flesh. A demon said, joining the others. He was drooling and his stomach howled with anger. Demons were in front of Kayaka, but he wasn't afraid nor even uneasy. He had his lantern on his right hand and a round bottle in his left hand. As soon as the 4 demons lunged at Kayaka, he shook the bottle and a few times threw the bottle at the demons as hard as he could and ran, climbing a nearby tree. The bottle broke and slashed the demons with red liquid. Hey, what's this? One of the demons scratched his face, but slowly decomposed. Flame mushroom oil. I managed to find a tree infected with oak wit. Kayaka smiled proudly, backing away from the demons. It took me an entire day to perfect it, and I had to be real careful, because even the slightest touch and I would die. Though, I don't know about the effects on demons. The demons growled and winced in pain. In less than 4 minutes, the demons had stopped moving. Only wisteria kills them, I see. Kayaka hummed. I first had my doubts, but it worked. The demons slowly got up and again as you and Kayaka walked away. You felt them glaring your back. They're not dead, you mustered out, unsheathing your sword. But extremely lethal on humans, Kai explained. There has to be something else besides wisteria that can also kill them. They can't withstand poison, but at least you damaged them bad enough. You charged at the demons. Day 3. A black-haired boy was running around from a tall, sturdy female demon. His left leg was injured severely. Just a small bite, the demon winced, chasing the boy. Fuck off, he yelled back. God breathing, 6th form. Rage, I'm going to butcher this. Rage of the Arabuka Kami, you said with a calm voice. The boy turned behind him and saw a flash of favorite color and second favorite color jump from a tree to a different direction. His eyes widened and his face reddened when he catched a glimpse of your features. You twirled and moved so gracefully that it was as if he was seeing a goddess prance before his eyes. With care, you stood next to the boy, watching the demon not only with her head cut off, but also its body minced. May the soul find peace, you softly said, then looked at the bushes nearby. Kayaka, it's safe now. I wanted to try this wolfbane and nightshade cream on your sword, but it looks like you don't need it. Kayaka pouted. How about tomorrow? You smiled at him apologetically. Sometimes you forgot he was still a child. I don't care about it anymore. Kayaka kept pouting and stuffed the black-haired male's face with small leaves. Please eat this, mister. The boy coughed up some of the leaves and gladly menaced at Kayaka. What's your problem? And I'm not a damn adult to call me mister. That's not a proper way to speak to a child. You glared back at the injured boy. At least allow us to know your name if you don't want to be called Mr. Genya, the boy mustered, looking away from you with a small blush. My name's Yen, and his is Kayaka. Pleased to meet you, Genya. You smiled calmly as you could. Now please, let the Anthonic work while Carrie and I treat your wounds. Those 7 days you encountered at least 30 demons. 2 of them were as sane as the first, but the rest were too hungry. They lost their humanity to the point they couldn't talk, or even they simply were too focused on killing. You would cross paths with 3 people from the exam, Genya and 2 others, that died. During the day, you would look for water and food while Kayaka made herb-based weapons he could later test on demons. Most of them resulted in failure, but he still tried his best. At nights, Kayaka would light the way with a lantern he made, and you would kill the demons. You didn't meet Tanjiro those 7 days. The voices kept telling you he was near, but you never saw him. Gladly, you hadn't seen him dead. Finally, that morning came after running and jumping from tree to tree. Kayaka noticed and smelled wisteria. We made it! Kayaka cheered. He was on your back while you were running. Yes! You smiled at him while running faster. As soon as you 2 reached the finishing place, Kayaka hopped off your back and sat on the floor, tying his sandals tighter. Something that concerned you was that there was only 4 people survived. Genya, the girl with distant gaze, a boy who seemed familiar, and Tanjiro. You breathed out, walking towards the boy with the red hair you knew too well. Kayaka stood up and looked at Tanjiro with hopeful eyes. He missed him so much, so he ran at him with all his strength. Tanjiro's nose picked up on a soft and sweet scent, the scent he memorized as you, and a bright and loud scent, which he remembered as Kayaka's. Tanjiro soon looked behind him, and before he could react, Kayaka had already caught and embraced him, as if he, Tanjiro, was going to vanish at that very moment. Tanjiro's eyes widened before shutting closed and hugging the small kid's back. Kayaka cried and stammered how much he missed Tanjiro all these years, and told him all the things he did to try and find him. The cold boy then gazed at you. Your eyes, your wonderful features, and the beautiful smile he longed and missed these years was now in front of him. Yen. His eyes immediately started letting out seas of tears, and so did yours. He hugged you and sobbed into your haori. Kayaka got between you 2 and hugged you. You had 2 main emotions drawn to your face, that it was hard to guess what did you feel the most that moment. Tanjiro then propped Kayaka over his right arm and kissed you. You immediately kissed back, but soon broke the kiss, giggling like the lovesick idiot you were at the moment. Tanjiro smiled softly and cleaned your tears. I'm so glad you're here, Tanjiro said, nuzzling his face into the crook of your neck, while his free hand hugged you. Yen? Another voice spoke.